Hey, hey. If my voice sounds a little bit off, it's because the program that I use to filter my voice is currently being a little bit goofy right now. Hoping to fix that. Yeah, right now just seeing where we end up here. Hope you guys are doing well. We're just gonna let this play out for a little bit while I fix some stuff. All right, it's a quiet morning. At least till we actually start playing the game. I've got a little bit of a well, not a headache, but I didn't sleep well last night, and I'm afraid I might end up with a headache if I'm not careful. So we're gonna take it easy this morning. I got some water. We're just gonna be vibing, all right? So give me a couple minutes here while I figure out what on earth my fucking audio software is doing, or rather not doing in this case. Okay. Try this again. It just bugs out. Something's not right there. Well, I can manually route it. It's just annoying because everything's blocked. So hold on a sec. So I'm gonna go mute for a second while I fix this. Okay, how's that sound? A little bit low on the output end. Am I missing something? That's weird. I mean, it's working. It's doing the things I asked it to do. It's just low. Strange. I don't know. Hold on. This is the one thing to act up. It's the fucking audio filters that I use. So that's a nuisance. I don't know how to fix this at the moment. Oh, are you working now? Fucking useless goddamn software, man. Hold on. Come on, man. You can fucking do it. Okay. Are you working now? Seems like it. Well, you were. Fuck is wrong with this software, man? Something's really fucked up with it. Someone messed up. And I don't think it was me this time. I don't think. Could be me. Can always be me. Well, I'll tell you what. For the moment, I'll leave it unmessed with, and I'm gonna do something slightly different. Hey, Walker Pierce, how you doing, bud? It's a bit of a chill morning this morning. I don't know what's up with my audio. The software that I use for all my, like, live, like, audio filtering, something's up with it. And I don't know what the fuck it is. Because there's no particular reason why... Ow. Sorry if that got to your guys' ears. There's no particular reason why it should not be working, but it's just not. Let me... Okay. That do anything? Oh, now you're gonna work. Okay. Fucking whatever. We're good. Anyway, Walker Pierce, how you doing, bud? Well, nope. Wait. Is it working? It seems low. Is the cable, like, not connected right over here? What the fuck is going on? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So... I'm going to turn this off while I fix it. I know what's happening. For some reason, all of the settings on every single one of my plugins that I use for audio filtering have just reset for no particular reason. No clue why there. But anyway, let me fix them and then I'll re-enable them. Cause this ain't good. So minus 40 dB for a threshold. Yeah, we don't really want the dry level in there. Reduction 24. We can probably up that to 30. Not 72. 30. Come on, man. Yeah, for the most part, I don't have an issue with this application. It's just every once in a while, it just bugs the fuck out, especially when I try and update it. It just completely loses its shit. Compressor is going to be... Actually, you know what? No, we're going to put like a 5 millisecond attack time on that compressor. Release at 100 milliseconds. Threshold. What do I want that threshold to be at? Well, here. Now that I've got the audio gate working, it should be a little bit easier to it should be a little bit easier to hear me even with the stuff enabled. Because the problem was there was a fucking noise gate on, which was just weird. Anyway, Walker Pierce, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing alright. I know we're just kind of vibing here on the GameCube screen. Honestly, I'm kind of cool with doing that for a minute. I didn't sleep very well last night. It's kind of a good chill moment because I woke up at like 9 o'clock and was like, okay, time to get ready for stream. So, a little bit lower energy today. Threshold... I want to set this at like a minus 25, I think. Maybe... No, hold up. Hold up. I know how to do this. I've been doing this for a while. Turn off the compressor, see where your voice sits at, and I want to compress about 5 decibels of that down. Right? I also don't want to add makeup gain. Okay. So, I want to, let's see, where's my voice sitting out on the meters here? Minus 15, minus 20. So yeah, minus 25 is actually right. So we compress that down to there. And then we're gonna have a fair amount of compression now. I'm actually gonna boost up the ratio to 4, so I'm gonna be a little bit heavier compression than normal. EQ's fucked. I'm not gonna bother messing with it right now, so I'm just gonna leave that off. Drawing a makeup tutorial stream went. Look, man, I got the lights. Like, I could do it. I also just don't know jack shit about makeup. Which is unfortunate, but it's what it do. Minimum attack on the limiter, which is really just another compressor, but, you know. Threshold is going to be a -5 dB. Yeah, we'll put it at -3. You're asking my mom? I mean, I could. I have a bunch of people I could ask about makeup, trust me. Don't worry about it. I just haven't. That limiter feels kind of weird here. Like, really weird. I don't know, something feels off about it. Anyway, EQ aside, which, I mean, I do need to mess with some, but I don't feel like tweaking right now. I'll do it at some point. Think we're good? Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all fixed up. And we're vibing here with some GameCube BIOS screen vibes. What a strange BIOS screen. It's probably just an image, but like, I mean, it is obviously... That's the thing, all of this could be done with like FMV, but I don't think they would want to do that because it'd probably be more memory efficient to render. I could understand if it was something like the Xbox menu screen. GameCube BIOS is the fucking GOAT. Ah, man. I haven't held a controller in a couple days. Feels a little weird. Tell you what I have been doing, though. I've been playing some Morrowind recently. And that's been a great time. No disc. There's a fucking disc in there, you liar. Unless the disk drive just stopped working on this GameCube, in which case we're fucked. Which, let's be real, it's a possibility knowing these streams. Oh, nope. Not so lucky, huh? Alright. So I think everything's working fine now. We got game audio. We got a microphone. Let me know how the audio levels are and everything. I try and monitor as I can, but it's not always the best because I'm doing it live. So like even when, so like if I turn on my microphone and I monitor my own speech over top of everything, the game sounds like a tad loud to me. This is the point where I would actually add sidechain compression. So the game can be a little louder. And then we're going to add another compressor on top of the one that's already there. And it's going to be side-chained to my microphone. And now, if I get loud, the game gets quieter. I don't know if I like sidechaining though. There's reasons why I don't like it. It's not bad. It's a good thing, and there's a reason to use it. And honestly, this is a good reason to use it. However, I'm not feeling it right now. I'm gonna turn my own microphone monitor off. So I stop hearing myself. And I guess we're watching a demo of the game or the cutscene, the opening cutscene or something. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Shame on you, Naravar, yep. It has been nice actually sitting down and playing Morrowind. I got a couple mods installed. I spent a couple days figuring out mods. I got probably like it's probably like 6 or 7 mods installed. Just mostly basic stuff. Something that reworks the main quest a little bit, so it's got more options as for like joining factions and everything. kind of just better incorporates it into the world. Some main city reworks that just make the cities feel a little bit more natural. And I've just been playing through, and it's been good. It's been a good time. I really do appreciate Morrowind for what it is, even if I'm not particularly good at it. But, I mean, it's also just a wild RPG. Alright. Well, we're back in Wario World. This is what we came for. I need to add more sound effects than just the fucking Bad to the Bone guitar riff. Fan dubs dialogue mod. No, I'm good. I love the modding community for the Elder Scrolls. Oh my god! I love the modding community for the Elder Scrolls series. They're fucking amazing, and they do great work, even when they... Like, the voice acting is usually at least halfway decent, but unfortunately a lot of these people who do this mod stuff just don't have the resources to do fucking voiced mods, and when you get stuff like Skyrim, which basically, like, most Skyrim mods feel like they're required to either reuse old voices. Oh, he just ran off the cliff. Most Skyrim mods just feel like they're required to fucking like have actual voiced mods, when in reality they don't. Like they don't need voices on everything. Finger guns. Anything that makes use of actual finger gun mechanics in a game, top quality. Just having like the ability to do finger guns, or having a creature have finger guns is like a main damage source. Very funny. But I don't know. The thing with Morrowind and like a lot of the bigger Elder Scrolls stuff is that people feel required to have like these big mods and everything. Yeah, pew pew, exactly. People feel required to have these big mods, and then they're like, oh, we need voice acting. No, you really don't, honestly. Trust me. I would rather have a good... I'd rather have a good game, or a good mod, that doesn't rely too much. Like, I'd rather have a silent mod than a mod that doesn't have good voice acting. I guess is the best way to put it. Okay? What can I do with this? W so big, Wario had to go through the W door. Anybody who doesn't know that meme, it's really fucking stupid, but... I'll see if I can pull it up later, if somebody reminds me. Oh. Yeah, I like these little minigame rooms. These aren't hard. I guess maybe they were afraid people were gonna get frustrated with it. But I don't think it's a bad thing for this game. Through fire and war, yep. Welcome, Moon and Star. Just gonna play Dagoth Wave for the entirety of the fucking stream. I have thought about streaming Morrowind, but I don't think I want that to be my first time experience. I think I want to be able to play the game on my own. Same thing with, like, Nier Automata. There's a couple games out there where it's like, I don't know if I could make these interesting enough to want to be able to do that, you know? Yeah, there's just some games out there where I have to sit and look at them and go, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that. You know, maybe I should actually just play these games on my own and enjoy them, and then if I think I can make them funny later, then maybe I'll pick them up and do something with them, you know? It's a weird balance thing. It's a very strange thing to try and balance. I guess I gotta spin on that platform to pull it up there. It's a very weird thing to figure out, like, the life, or the game balance between wanting to play a lot of games on stream and realizing that there are some games that are better left playing off stream and enjoying on your own, you know? You gotta enjoy things on your own, too. I like using streams as a way to, like, force me to play some games during a week, at least. But it's definitely not the only thing that I should be doing as far as... It's definitely not the only way that I want to enjoy games, you know? Looks like the swirly slabs can move. Yeah, I already figured that one out, Chief, but thank you. Uh-oh. Alright. Aw. Grab some more stuff. But yeah, this is a good, like, chill game. There's not a whole lot of thought involved. It's just more exploration, honestly. That didn't work. I guess we go down and around. Okay, we gotta deal with Finger Guns McGee. You know, if you really think about it, this is an elaborate game of, I don't know if you guys would have played it. It's a very specific game that you would play as kids. It's just called Lumberjack, and it's basically just... And it's not a game that you should play, let's be real. But Lumberjack is basically two people put their hands together. I'll demonstrate it in a second, actually. There we go, ping. Thank you, Walker Pierce. Much appreciated. As always. I wonder if Wario can fly if he spins with those things fast enough. But here, I'll pull it up. I'll explain it. So basically, two people put their hands together like this. This is a lumberjack. Or sorry. Yeah, two people put their hands together like this, and then they put their other hands on the outside of those hands. So these hands stay together. The outside hands take turns just slapping the piss out of the other person's back of their hand until they just can't deal with it anymore and they have to give up. It's one of those games. It's really just goofy nonsense that kids do because they feel like pain is funny to some extent, and it kinda can be sometimes, but at the same time, just causing people physical pain for no reason. No. Okay, now that I've explained that. Going back to what I was saying about not liking sidechain compression in this particular case, the reason that I don't is because I feel like part of the focus of this game, or part of the focus of these streams, is still the game, you know. As much as I am the person playing the game, and sure, I guess I should, like, you know, I should, you know, focus on my own voice because it's more important than the gameplay, which is generally going to be understood solely visually, even without the audio cues. As much as I understand that that's just kind of how it should be, I do like having the game audio there, and I don't feel like it should be. I don't feel like my voice should be, you know, detracting from the gameplay. I feel like it should be in addition, and vice versa. Back in my day, children's games carried a not insignificant risk of outright killing or maiming the children. That's true. There are quite a lot of very silly games that kids play that mostly just involve them causing bodily harm to themselves. It's just kind of what they do. Especially, like, kids and teens. Because teens do it, too. Hell, people my age still do it. Like, when you're younger, there's this lack of self-preservation. And I say this as a fairly young person. There's this lack of self-preservation and understanding of consequences. That's just kind of what it is. You know? Like, regardless of what you say to a kid, you can tell them, be careful, and, you know, you might die if you do this. And yeah, a lot of them will understand that, and they'll still go and do something stupid anyway. Wonder if I can make this. Well, not if I don't jump. Speaking of children's games, how you guys feeling about this game? Personally, I actually really enjoy this. This is a good head empty game, and I haven't had one of those in a very long time. I think it's good to just have games every once in a while that you just run through and you're just enjoying, you know? No, like, massive, like, you know, overarching, like, storyline, maybe. You know, something simple. And if there's one thing that Nintendo is typically pretty good at doing, it's that. Real simple, easy storylines. They're just fun, you know? Are you gonna explode yet? Fucking hell. I guess you're there just infinitely? Okay. I don't know, I keep seeing spawners and I'm like, yep, gotta break the spawners. No, not necessarily. I like the spooky house idea, though. I think it's a good world design. I like Wario World. Yeah, it's a cool game. I think the level designs are good overall. Like, they're stylized, but they're not, like, ultra stylized. Let me in. I will continue punching the door until it lets me in. Yep, auto spin. You automatically rotate even if you stop rotating the control stick. You can move while spinning. Oh, you can just unlock him. Great. Or just straight up hitting each other with sticks and shit. Yeah, that happens a lot too. Okay, so if he takes enough damage, he just goes for the blast. Got it. Alright, so I do have to be a little bit more careful here. Ah! So, I was such like a depressed sound, just ah! Ah, you got me! I agree. This is okay. Lawn dart dodge, yeah. Yeah, shit like that definitely shows up a lot when you look at what kids do in their free time. Alright, hit him 3 times, he goes for the big blast. There we go. Thankfully I didn't have any friends, so I didn't have to worry about that. I didn't have many friends in the area that I would hang with. I had a couple friends in school that I would talk about, or I would talk with, but nobody really... Like, very seldom did I actually have people over to my house or go over to anybody's house simply because of the distances out here. It's just a very, like... I kind of just live out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm cool with that, for the most part. It can be frustrating at times, but... Okay, Wario. Yeah, I don't know. I was an indoor kid anyway, and a lot of the kids out here, well, they're outdoor kids. They're country kids. There's nothing wrong with that. I love them. They're great. They're fun to hang with. But it's just not my vibe to be outside constantly, you know? Alright, so now we can get this guy over here. Who's gonna tell us another kind of useless tip. Use the hyper suction by pressing the L button to, yeah, he just, like, eats all the coins. What do you think Wario does with all of his money? I know what the answer is. He sits on it and acquires wealth because he's greedy and he likes having it. The act and, the act of having the wealth is what Wario is interested in. More so than doing anything with it, because he doesn't want to get rid of it. He just wants to have it. It's the hoarder mentality, basically. I'm missing something here, and I don't know what. Get back this way. I suppose I can spend a little bit of money on some, I love that you just punch him and that's the interact button. Let's get some garlic, Chief. Heal up to full just to be sure. He's greedy, but not maliciously wealthy. No, he's not doing anything, like, horrible with it. He just wants to have the money. So if he can come up with a way to get more money, he's gonna. God damn it. I shouldn't have gone for that, but I didn't know how else to clear that without taking damage. Yeah, Wario doesn't spend all his money on crypto and then crash the markets. I like that sound effect because I'm fairly certain that's a stock sound effect. The one from jumping on something's head. Go ahead, spawn another one, idiot. He's just constantly glowing yellow. He's not keeping it explicitly to prevent you from having more of it. Yeah, it's just a compulsion of he wants the money. Like, you can have money and he doesn't care. He'd like the money, but he's not going to get mad that you have money and he doesn't have that same money, you know? Also, I've been doing a little bit of research into economics recently. I was saying that last stream, and there's so much, man. There's so much to it. Like, when you get really into it, god damn it. When you get really into it, I want to get up on that roof, is what I'm trying to do for the record. When you get really into it, money right now is more just debt that is owed to you. It's not linked to anything physical anymore. Which means you can get some really wild shit going on, honestly. Okay, yeah, you slide down the roof. Now, if you have a ton of real treasure, he's probably gonna come steal it. Like, if he sees a bunch of stuff, it's an avarice thing, but it's not a spiteful greed. It's just a, I want to have it. Alright, so I mean, I think that's everything so far. Can't imagine that I missed many side rooms or anything. I got everything in there. Can't hit any of these crates despite being able to break tons of crates like them in the previous level. Which, I mean, is fine. Fight ring. Welcome to Fight Club. First rule of Fight Club. What, you thought I was going to tell you about it? No. Anybody ever seen that video of Wario? It's just called like Wario laughing or something, and it's literally just Wario laughing. But it's like really weird laughs that somebody has been editing with audio, so it just sounds like completely unhinged, fucking crazy laughter. I was gonna say, are any more gonna spawn? Or did I just, like, finish it? I forget what the money even gets used for, if anything, or if it's just funny number go up. Can't get up there like that. Probably have to drop down from somewhere. Adios. But yeah, I don't know. Wario's a very, like, okay character, honestly, for Nintendo. I'm glad that they, like, sure, he's still a very cartoony villain, even, like, Bowser is, but I like him a lot. Ooh, ooh. We also get some of my favorite voice lines for Wario from this game. But yeah, I think Wario is just a good character for Nintendo to have in their back pocket. It's literally just a dude who's greedy and also fucking invincible. And it's like, great. This is a good... he's a very good opposite to Mario, who's very obviously... one of Mario's characterizing traits is his mortality, and his, it's his mortality and his altruism, you know? Things I didn't expect to be saying to describe a fucking Nintendo property. Although technically Bayonetta's a Nintendo property, so I don't know, maybe at some point I end up using that. I will get into Bayonetta 2 at some point. I think I've just been having some fun playing co-op with Selenio recently. I'd rather focus on that. But, I don't know. There's always too many games to play, you know? There's always too many games to play. Especially when I'm playing really long fucking game or potentially long games like Morrowind and shit. Like, it's an RPG. Like, you can find some really long RPGs out there. You can also put a ton of hours into games you wouldn't expect, like Devil May Cry 5. I have 100+ hours in that fucking game. I literally just, like, the story, you saw me, I beat the story in 8 hours, not skipping cutscenes. And taking some breaks. Like, it's not a long game if you know what you're doing. Even if you don't, you might add a few hours to it if you have trouble beating a boss or something. But... like, it's not that bad. Is there anything else in here that I need to grab? Doesn't look like it. You said it. You said the funny word. Mario also seems to constantly be holding back his full power. I saw that the Virgil thing looked like it was desynced there. I'll fix that in a minute. Mario also seems to constantly be holding back his full power as to not scare his friends while Wario doesn't give a crap. Yeah. It's that, it's the anime protagonist thing of you gotta be able to hold back your full power, you know? You don't show it until you really need to. Because that's what cool people do. They hold back, they don't show everything they've got. Fucking stupid fish. It looked like the Virgil thing was, the Virgil text was like shoved at the bottom of the screen for some reason, but I just caught it out of the corner of my eye. I like all the remixes of the theme, though. Okay. That's there. You guys think I should play Crash Bandicoot on stream? Or should I just keep playing Eminem's Shell Shocked? That was fun. I enjoyed that stream a lot. I wouldn't mind playing through the old school Crash games, or even the Spyro games, honestly. It'd be fun. I just haven't bothered to do that on stream, because honestly, I played those games a lot. Like, when I was a kid, and even, like, kinda recently, after Insane Trilogy. Yeah, here we have Wario just casually suplexing a T-Rex without breaking a sweat. Exactly. This is the content we come here to see. Play both. I mean, we could play both. That sounds like an interesting idea. I'm down to play both. That's the other thing I've been playing recently. Finally, after like 2 or 3 weeks, I soft lock down here? Okay, no. I was like, why the fuck isn't it spawning again? Finally, after like 2 or 3 weeks, I got to play World of Warcraft again last night with a couple of my friends, and we actually made really decent progress. We got like 6 levels. Technically, I got 7, but I was doing stuff after they dropped out because I wanted to finish up a couple odds and ends quest lines. Set up one of those randomization emulators to swap between the 2 at random intervals. Alright, here's a good one. So there's a guy... I'll have to remember. Okay. Okay. There's a guy, I'm trying to remember his name. He's over on Twitch. It's not Dylan J. Fox. There's a speedrunner. He's a Crash and Spyro speedrunner. He's over on Twitch. I'll have to go find him later. But he did a 6-way randomization speedrun between all 3 original Crash games and all 3 original Spyro games. Prepping for the Radon raid. Yeah, we're getting that Elden Ring content in. I'm glad you don't lose health on these. Well, at least when you fall. Aw, oh, come on, Wario. He grabbed the edge and I expected him to just not. It's hard to line... You don't have enough time to line up your drop shadow, I think is the big thing. Yeah. Also, in addition to Dark Souls 2, I do want to play Elden Ring. And Elden Ring does just... Like, I've talked about it before with some friends, but Elden Ring really is... It just looks like Dark Souls 2 too. And that's a good thing. Because I think with some improvement, Elden Ring can be a really phenomenal... Or, like, Dark Souls could be a phenomenal game. Overhead view? I mean, I could. I don't know how much it would help. Wario also just is a little slippery in this game, and that's not a bad thing for game feel. Or for, like, movement feel. It's just, it makes platforming, it's, like, the action of platforming just a tad bit harder. Come on, man. I like all the designs for the creatures in this game. Like, it's still, like, GameCube level polygons, but it feels, like, soft, I guess is the best way to put it. At least for me. Like, I don't know much about modeling and, like, 3D, like, models and stuff. Made sure to butter up his shoes this morning. Yeah, that's part of his morning ritual. I do it too, actually, when I'm going to work. Problem is it leaves stains on the carpet at work. Everybody yells at me about it, but I mean, what else am I gonna do? Not butter my shoes in the morning? You gotta keep them moisturized. How we looking here? We're missing... Alright. We're getting there. We probably missed something somewhere, but I think we're on good pace for finishing this up. I like these levels. It's perfectly okay to have a linear level with a bunch of stuff that you can go back to explore. I don't know why I feel like we've worked away from that sort of concept in a lot of modern games, especially platformers. People tend to go for more open world concepts. And I don't know if that's because open world concepts are more marketable to publishers, or if everybody's just obsessed with the idea of having an open world game. Wow. I feel like this game makes me talk about game design more than most games, and that's kind of weird. I don't know if it's just a testament to the fact that this game is designed well, or what. Also, I milked the fuck out of that last stream for content, for fucking just me ranting about video games. Brawl doll is waiting inside the goal. It's floating in the air, so it'll be hard to punch. You should do a corkscrew conk by pressing the A button during a dash attack. Okay, so we got one more. And I need to go get healing somewhere. There was a garlic guy somewhere. It worked for Odyssey. Yeah, no, and the open world concept can definitely work as a platformer. I'm not saying that it can't by any means, because there's plenty of examples of it working and plenty of examples of it not working too. I mean, even original platformers, like a lot of them, like fucking Banjo-Kazooie, Spyro. Those games work really well, and there are other things that make them work other than the fact that they're open world. Open world, in the sense that the levels are non-linear. But I think that one of the big things that does make them work is the fact that they are non-linear explorable levels. At the same time, you can see here that these levels are quite good, even though they're linear, you know? They're just linear with a bunch of explorable shit in the background. I don't know, I feel like the big thing is, the big thing, I think, is just realizing that there are many ways. There's more than one way to skin a cat, as the saying goes. And there's more than one way to make a good video game. There's no one objective, amazing, perfect game design that everybody should try and ascribe to. Because then shit would be boring. Playing solved like doing things that are solved can still have some merit. You may be able to learn how to optimize it better, or, you know, otherwise just do something with it that nobody's done before. But eventually, if everybody uses the same fucking game formula, it's not going to be interesting. It's going to be boring as shit. You know, same way if everybody made the same book, if everybody painted the same way. Same deal. You know? The only level I find to be designed a bit poorly is level 1 in World 3. It's a tad too long and full of one-way things. Fair. Fair. That one's a little iffy. I'll agree. Thanks, bud. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I really think this game did a good job with the sound design for the most part. Although I do get tired of hearing the little fucking squeak sounds from enemies. But that's about the only thing I get tired of hearing here. The music's fine. It still plays enough in the background that it's not really a big deal. Ooh. We got some climbing puzzles. This is some Prince of Persia shit. That's another game I want to buy and play at some point. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. That game actually looks like a banger. Well, there were enemies over there. I'm probably just missing something. It's further back in the level. It's towards the beginning. But yeah, I think that having a linear level where it's just like, hey, bud, you missed some stuff. If you want, you can go back and get it, but it's not required. I think that that's good design. For a platformer, at least. For, like, these sort of collect-a-thon-y platformers. Although Wario is also just an action game, arguably. Because it is more combat-focused. We back in the mines. Yeah, so I got all of them. I'm missing one crystal. I know the garlic gets more expensive with each one I buy. I don't really mind. I don't know what other resource... I don't know what other use the money has as a resource. Like, I'm genuinely unsure what the other uses are, so I don't mind keeping myself topped off for the most part. But hey, man, that's the law of supply and demand. We did get the thing over here. You hit the button and then you run along the wall here, which this is cool because you wouldn't expect this sort of thing out of a game. But I think the way that the level design the way the level design leads you, because this thing is just here and it's just floating up. It's a tutorial, but it's also, because it looks like the ball thing that you were already hanging on to, but it's also a good way to, it's a great way to introduce, like, hey, sometimes we'll hide things in weird spots, and, you know, there was no other option there. You went up, and then it's like, okay, well, what else is here? To have, duh, yeah, exactly. Wario logic. So I hit the green button, and I haven't gotten the green one yet, so where's the green one? It's up there. Okay. Did I not go up here? I love the little MIDI bass lines and shit. There was something up here. I think it was a trophy. Who's the green guy? Yeah. Squidward. At some point, I wouldn't mind voicing, like, shitpost, YouTube content of some kind. I think that would be fun. I think I would enjoy that. Some sort of, like, goofy meme, like, voice acting, you know? Alright. There's that done. And this will be the last crystal. And then I gotta run all the way to the end of the level again. I do kind of wish there was, like, a checkpoint fast travel system once you've actually beaten the level. Like, once you've gotten to the end and taken the balloon back. But that's what it is. I don't think this is a bad system by any means. Yep, there's all the trophies. That was a little close. We fucking did it, though. We did it! We did it, boys! I'm not gonna actually scream, because I don't feel like fucking up my voice right now, but that's everything. Except the boss. And those two crystal fragments that I don't know what those are for.
Oh my god!
I like how that played before it even showed up in the YouTube chat. Like, I watched it start before the YouTube chat went off. I gotta say, I know that this bot has some limitations because I can't code with it, so I can't do all sorts of crazy shit with it. But they're still working on StreamerBot. I'm very glad I found out about it at TwitchCon. I'm glad that I went to that single Streamer Tools, like, meetup, where people were just talking about, like, it was, I guess it was a seminar, would be the best word for it. Because honestly, this bot, like, despite the limitations that it has, I'm very happy with it. And I think that it's just gonna keep getting better, and eventually we're gonna get good YouTube support, hopefully, because YouTube needs better support for their everything. At the moment, regarding streaming services, at the moment, YouTube is nowhere near the best, and they're not putting much effort into their streaming services. On a couple levels. God damn it. I have my computer monitor set to shut off after like 45 minutes. That's right, Walker Pierce. As it goes on, you could say it gains more power. Also good, the Virgil thing isn't fucking up. But, so here's the thing. So Twitch right now just knocks everything else out of the water as far as streaming services. But there's some nuance to that. That's a creepy enemy. Ooh, good job. Fucking excellent enemy design. Get the fuck out of the air. Wow. Just gonna spin around in circles like an idiot. Oh no, Wario has head tracking. Why does Wario fight Eldritch Horrors? Because he wants money. Why else do you fight Eldritch Horrors? Ooh, we got some fucking bullet hell action going on. Freaking sweet, Lois. Look, Eldritch Horrors beyond my imagination. Shitty fucking Peter Griffin impression. Oh, you actually attack on your own now. I'm impressed. I like how the attacks start off slow, at least. I think that that's still fine. Smash him into the fucking pillar. This is a creepy design, though, even ignoring the fucking weird carnival music playing in the background. Alright. Break the baby. I can't taunt. I want to taunt really bad. I think this game would have really benefited from, like, a goofy-ass taunt that Wario can do in the middle of situations. That's a clear. That's a clear, baby. Wow! I love that noise. Just the effects that they put on it make it sound so strange. This is my castle now. I agree, Wario. Alright, why don't we take a little break? Just talk for a minute, because I want to talk about streaming shit now. I don't want to say this is a rant, or it's more just a tangent that I want to talk about. Need to fucking stretch, though. Music? Music. Ow. Oh, god damn it, did you hook up to the fucking... Why are you like this? Hold on. I know what it's doing, and I'm not sure... No, it's hooked up to the right thing. Then am I just not monitoring the right thing? Give me a sec. Sometimes OBS just loses its shit, too. It's not necessarily OBS, I think it's the audio stuff behind it. There we go. Alright, so as far as streaming, I've been streaming on YouTube for about a year now. Not quite. So I've been streaming on YouTube for a year. I streamed on Twitch for about a year and a half, 2 years. And I don't know, here's what I have to say, I guess. It's not like an official video. I should be putting these out in like real videos, but actually I'm gonna record this. Hopefully this doesn't cause my computer to lose its shit trying to record, but so I've been on YouTube for about a year or so. I've been on Twitch for about 2 years. I'm not a big streamer. I can't say how this... I can't say, like, in stone how this is gonna scale for, like, bigger streamers. People who have, like, you know, 10, 20, fucking 50, 100 people in the chat. Or more. But so I've used a bunch of different streaming platforms and a bunch of different, like, bots and tools to help manage my streams. I've been all over the place with this shit. Here's what I'm gonna say. YouTube streaming, currently, is not as good as Twitch streaming. Period. There's a couple reasons for that. On YouTube's end, well, on the actual why is it not as good? YouTube just lacks a lot of tools that you would need as a creator for streaming. Yes, you can use the YouTube Live control panel, which is browser only, or maybe you can use it on the YouTube Studio app. I don't know. I don't really use the YouTube Studio app for much. But the thing that YouTube offers is a live chat view. You can add stream markers. It automatically archives your video or your stream as a YouTube video. You can add YouTube highlights, and you can clip. Now, you used to not be able to clip, which was a big fucking issue. But being able to clip does help a lot. Anyway, so if you look at YouTube's analytics page while you're streaming, it's kind of depressing a lot of the time, because I'm fairly certain that if a person doesn't talk in a YouTube stream, if they don't type in the chat, they don't show up as active viewers. Not until after the stream. But I might be wrong on that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just not interesting. Maybe people just don't want to come check me out, which is fine, honestly. I don't care that much. It will only automatically archive the stream if it's less than 12 hours long. There you go. YouTube also offers latency settings for your stream. So you can make normal latency, which is about 20-something seconds, low latency, which is about, I think, 5 to 7 seconds, and then ultra low latency, which is, I don't know, probably like 3 to 4 seconds tops. And there's a couple other options, but having the ability to automatically archive your streams on YouTube is nice. Because, personally, I stream at some weird hours so that people can watch my streams, because I try to stream. The reason my stream schedule is set up the way it is because 7 p.m. is normally when I get off work, and when a lot of people in the U.S. and the East Coast and West Coast, or U.S. is going to be able to view me. However, a lot of the people in the UK, sure, a lot of my friends are night owls over in the UK and Ireland and Spain and Europe in general, but I don't want them to have to stay up till like 4 in the morning watching my fucking streams if they really want to watch them. So I usually don't stream those hours. I'm just sort of ranting right now, but maybe I'll cut something useful out of this. And then I stream early in the morning so that people who get up early in the US or people in Europe can watch my streams then without being, you know, dead ass tired at 4 in the morning if they're not feeling it. Ultra high latency, 10 minutes. Thank you, Walker Pierce. But going back on, so let me just start over on that rant. I'm actually going to stop the recording and restart it. So I've been on YouTube for about a year now streaming, and I was on Twitch for about a year and a half, 2 years streaming, and I can tell you right now, Twitch is better for streaming for a couple reasons. At least it depends on what you're exactly trying to do. If you're on YouTube and you already have a successful YouTube channel and you have a ton of active subscribers and people who watch your videos and all that, then streaming might be great, because you'll get all sorts of people from all over the world being able to go, okay, cool, I want to interact with this guy while he's not doing his video content. And that's good, but also YouTube lacks a lot of tools. YouTube lacks a lot of tools as far as streaming goes, especially when it comes to their API backend, which means that a lot of stuff, a lot of the stuff you can do on Twitch, say channel points or, you know, shout outs, things like that, things that are very easy on Twitch, are kind of difficult, if not impossible, on YouTube. I can't do shout outs with my current bot, but that's more a limitation of my bot rather than... Well, I can't do shoutouts on YouTube, period, because YouTube links are not just set up in that way that it's easy to swap out a little bit of a text string. Yeah, Twitch already has a culture around it. Twitch is... What I would say is, if you're a small streamer and you really want to get into... Or rather, if you're thinking about streaming, or if you're a small streamer, get on Twitch, find a niche, find some people that you enjoy hanging around. Okay? It could be based around a bigger streamers group. It could be just some people you like playing games with. It could be you and your friends, and eventually end up meeting a couple more people. But Twitch is not a good place to go if you're looking to get famous. I mean, realistically, content creation is just so oversaturated at this point that it's kind of hard to get famous. It is kind of a crapshoot, no matter what people tell you. There are things you can do to improve your quality, and I've done a fair amount of them, but like when it comes down to it, it really is just keep posting content till something sticks, and then, you know, hope that you can maintain that viewership through your other stuff that you're doing. And that's why Twitch is good, because Twitch has a culture based around streaming and the community aspect of streaming. They're about that. I'm not going to talk about this in a corporate mindset. I'm talking about this from a boots on the ground, like grassroots style, like just being there for 3, 4, 5 years now. Streaming communities on Twitch are very closely knit for the most part. I've seen people get kicked out of communities because they made other streamers who were semi-unrelated but still in the community feel uncomfortable, because that's just how it goes. It's not a tribalism thing necessarily, but there is a protective aspect, and sometimes it's a toxic aspect, especially with people who are like desperate to get big on Twitch, which is why I say don't go in with the expectation of getting big. But I think that having people around, find a good community of people who you trust and you appreciate and you enjoy watching and hanging with, and I think you'll be fine on Twitch. Even if you don't have a ton of views, you'll feel like there are people there constantly to, you know, reassure you and have fun with and all this other stuff. You won't feel like you're alone just streaming to a void. And the same's true on any streaming platform, but on Twitch it's particularly easy to find communities that are interested, you know, that are interested in having more people around. And people have talked about this for ages before, but please, please, please don't get into streaming if you're just in it to get views and get popular and get money. If you're not interested in actually streaming and interacting with people, fuck that. Okay, just don't do it. Trust me, you're gonna make yourself miserable, and you're gonna make everybody around you miserable. Anybody who's in the chat, I've seen it. It's not fun. It's ugly. It's bad. YouTube, on the other hand, if you don't already have an established community that you're a part of, YouTube doesn't have many ways to really intermingle with other communities and other people. They really only have, I guess if you want to include community posts, but for the most part, you go to other social media websites, and yes, YouTube is a social media website, in order to network necessarily. But generally you'll have like a YouTuber with like a Discord, or they'll be off on like Twitter or something, and they'll have their own communities there. So streaming on YouTube solo can be kind of lonely, for lack of a better word. Because like everybody else I know who streams on Twitch, and there's a reason for that. I've just been doing this for so long, I'm kind of like interested. You know, I want to do it. I also don't want to go back to Twitch for reasons I'm not going to get into right now. Part of it was just, I don't know. There's a lot of shit going on with Twitch too. I'm not going to get into all the drama and the crazy shit and the not caring about creators, because YouTube doesn't either. But also, it's nice to be smaller over here because you just don't get noticed. At least as far as like negativity and stuff goes. Like a lot of the time you just don't get noticed on YouTube. The Walker Pierce is saying, yeah, a lot of YouTube's API shortcomings are consequences of them needing to make it as closed as possible to prevent the blocking of ads or downloading or easily feeding videos into bots. Right. Which is unfortunate, because a lot of the tools that streamers use on Twitch really revolve around the fact that the Twitch API is so set up for that sort of thing. It's very open-ended. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it. You can set up bots that just send messages in chats. They can track statistics. They can do all sorts of shit, you know? And they just, you know, on YouTube, they just don't have that. Like on YouTube, I can't shout people out because it's a lot more annoying to shout people out, at least. Here, let me look at the bot real quick, because I know I've got some ideas that I was working on, and then I realized I physically can't do them. Let me see. Yeah, like so basically the way that the YouTube API is set up in streamer.bot right now, which by the way is in still a pretty early access form, so I'm not going to give it too much shit, is I can only send straight text messages to YouTube. I cannot send anything that has any sort of like replacement stuff. Hey Alex, how you doing, bud? Yeah, we've always known that YouTube doesn't really care. That's the other thing. Have you considered jarlic? Is it just garlic in a jar? Because if it is, no. But now I'm interested. So, yeah, going back on just talking about it, like, I would say if you're just interested in getting started streaming, go over to Twitch, find a community, find people you enjoy watching, and build off of that community, okay? I mean that sincerely, and that sounds like I'm trying to say, yeah, go leech off of somebody else's, like, success. No. I'm saying find people you enjoy being around. A big old jar of minced garlic. I'm gonna show up to stream next week with just a jar of minced garlic, and you're gonna have to watch me chug the whole thing and then probably throw up, honestly. I'm not doing that. But anyway, that's sort of my YouTube rant. Wario World really is the content farm stream. If you want to get viewers self-promo in all the chats, I have been doing that recently. Mostly because I know that there's a couple people who are actually interested in watching my streams and just don't join my Discords, or my Discord rather. That's another thing that I just hate, is that whole idea of like, because like I was just talking about Twitch and communities and stuff. The problem is a lot of those communities, when they're not on stream, end up on Discord, which is fine, but that means that for every community that you're in, if you want to share the fact that you're going live, which I'm in a lot of different communities, some of them private, you know, personal communities, and some of them more public streamer-based communities, then you have to just spam self-promo in every chat. That's not fun. It's not fun at all. It's just annoying. You just keep copy-pasting the same message over and over. I don't like that. It feels desperate, in a way. You know, it feels like begging for views, and I don't like doing that. So there's basically just, I don't know. Being a content creator is hard. Being a streamer is doubly hard for many reasons, but because your content is transient, it's not there in stone forever for everybody to watch. Unless you're putting it up on YouTube like I am. But the point being, the actual like live interaction portion, you need to do it because you enjoy it, because it's not profitable. Nobody wants to fucking... Very few people want to like advertise on streams. Very few people want to partner with streamers. You do try to spice up the stream promos, so I've noticed. Yeah, but also what happens if Discord collapses? Yeah, that's exactly why at some point, not now, I want to set up my own server, and I'm not talking like a Cloudflare or an Amazon Web Services server. I want to like get a fucking server rack and put it in my room and get actual, like, not here obviously, once I move out at some point. I want to like get a server rack and set it up and like actually like make a decent server, and get, I guess, business grade internet, because otherwise it's not going to work. But I want to like have a space where I know that it's gonna be up, you know? I know that we're gonna have a space. I've also just moved to Mastodon. I haven't even looked at Mastodon. I made a co-host account, and I'm on Tumblr now, and I'm still on Twitter. All of those are in my link tree except the co-host, because they haven't let me post anything yet, because they're kind of flipping shit at the amount of people that joined a couple weeks ago still, and they haven't let me in yet, which is fine. Mastodon looks interesting. I don't know. I'm not gonna get too into this whole YouTube, you know, Twitch, like, streaming content creation discussion, because honestly, it's just not my place to say. I do this because it's fun. You know, I can offer my personal opinions and experiences, and I can offer technical help when I can, which I still do want to make technical videos again. I'm starting to finally feel that urge again to make that. And I think I can do it this time without everything breaking horribly and losing all the footage 5 times. But, I don't know. That being said, I just... content creation is exhausting, you know? If Twitter survives. It's gonna die out slowly if it does. Okay, here's the down low on Twitter. Twitter is going to die out slowly and probably painfully. People are going to leave. People have already been leaving. Not everybody's going to leave, but the server, like the Twitch, or Twitter rather, is going to become just a place of, you know, it's just going to slowly die out. It's going to be like Tumblr, where I saw a bunch of yeah, sure, a bunch of people left when they banned porn, but then I saw people leave more and more and more, and eventually it got to the point where I just wasn't interested, because none of the blogs that I cared about were on Tumblr anymore. They all just stopped, for one reason or another. I think that's the way that Twitter's gonna go. And it's sad. It's always sad to see it, but I mean, change always happens. There's always other sites. Even if you end up losing contact with people who you enjoyed talking to or enjoyed the content of, you'll probably find them again somewhere else in 20 years. I think there's still a chance that, yeah, there is definitely a chance that a critical bug is gonna go live in production and the whole site's gonna crash and everybody's gonna assume it's dead for like a week. I feel like Muskrat genuinely didn't know exactly how much a yearly loss Twitter ran on before they bought it. He definitely didn't. Here's the secret to pretty much every major thing from the past 20 years. Pretty much all of them have been running on a loss. Pretty much all of them are run on a loss. Tumblr was run on a loss. Twitter has been. Pretty much any social media, Discord is. The reason that they run at a loss like that is because they're still seeing their stocks go up. They basically just shuffle things around to make it look like they're making a ton of profit or otherwise like have other good metrics that mean that the company's growing because these are publicly traded. And then they just hope that some schmuck buys it out from under them. And then it's suddenly not their problem anymore and they walk away with several $1 million more, if not several $1 billion more, than they thought they were going to walk away with, you know? That's just kind of how it works. So Muskrat's on the losing end of this one. And he just doesn't understand... Okay, put this in perspective. The other day, I saw a post that Elon put up that said, hey, they're running me through how all the code works on Twitter. I just got off a meeting with a bunch of the devs who were telling me how they're like explaining to me how all the code works on Twitter. That was 2 weeks after he bought the fucking company, and well after he started making weird internal changes and firing people. Speaking of which, he tried to fire people in Europe. You can't do that outright. You have to have a reasonable excuse to fire them. And he's trying to run it like a US company, and it's just not. Yeah, he's scrambling to salvage something funny. It is funny. I don't feel bad for him. It's hard for muskrats to understand complex software, even if they are elongated. Look, this elongated muskrat has just been chewing on the fucking wires inside Twitter HQ. I kind of wish he was chewing on the wires in Twitch HQ, honestly. Probably be a little bit more entertaining. But, yeah, I don't know. There's so much to this, and I'm not going to get into all of it. But the long and short of it is, Elon started messing with the company before really knowing what it was, or how it worked, or what it was doing. And he's gonna lose way more money than he thought he was gonna lose, by firing a bunch of people and trying to reduce costs. As opposed to just keeping staying the course and having to deal with it for a little while. I don't know, that man's a fucking fraud and I've never liked him. I'm not gonna get into it too much, but that's enough of that. What the fuck was I saying before? Moving over to different content creation platforms. Yeah, there's always going to be content creation platforms. Those platforms are always going to change, alright? If you plan on doing content creation, don't expect to be on Twitch forever. Don't expect to be on YouTube forever, although YouTube's been around for a while. It's pretty safe to say. It feels like a too big to fail business. But so does Twitch. So do all these businesses. So does Twitter. I hope they forget to shred the source code that they printed for Elon and the source code of Twitter gets leaked as low-quality JPEG scans. That would be beautiful. I would actually love that. That'd be something I would have saved on my computer and just never look at, you know? Just wild nonsense that you find. I'm gonna turn my mic down a little bit. Just a bit. But yeah, there's so much to all of this, and especially when it comes to content creation, just be aware that, unfortunately, you're not going to be on those platforms forever because they are for profit. As soon as they stop being profitable, they stop existing. which is why I'm pretty much always going to propose that if you have a thing and you want to run it, public, you see government subsidized internet. You can get subsidized by the U.S. government to become an internet service provider for an area. Like, there's fairly substantial grants involved, and if you can get it up and running and do that sort of thing, great. Please make public internet access a thing. I'm so tired of fucking capitalism and everybody only doing things that they can make a profit off it. Do things out of the goodness of your heart. I'm just sort of going off on fucking rants right now. But this is the stuff that bugs me, you know? This is the stuff that I end up talking about on like a regular basis. Twitter was way too bloated, to be fair. Tons of engineers, but almost never any work got done. Twitch is the exact same problem. It does. But as far as... Alright. Last word on everything. Content creators. I'm sorry. Your platforms are going to go down someday. Please make sure that you're on multiple platforms and that you have multiple platforms to look at. You know? Just the nature of the way that the internet is right now, things are going to go down. If you put all your eggs in one basket, it is going to result in you having issues finding a following again when that platform goes down. So don't stick to one thing too much. Whether it be Discord, or YouTube, or Twitch, or fucking Mastodon, it doesn't matter. Something. Archive all your shit. Yep, I don't care if this channel goes down, for the record. I don't mind if my content gets erased. It's a shame, sure, and I'll miss some of the memories that I have. But the fact of the matter is, I don't have the storage space to archive every fucking thing that I do on this channel, and I don't intend on doing that. And that's okay. I've accepted that fact, you know? I started this YouTube channel because I wanted to have some fun with my friends and record some of our experiences together, playing games. And it's evolved a long way from that, but I think that that same concept still stands. I still basically do this to enjoy myself and enjoy the things you very much care. Look, man, if you really want to archive all the stuff, I can give you access so you can archive all of it. I'm not, like, if you really want to do it. And if I make my own, I'm constantly trying to get to the point where I can archive everything that I watch. The problem is, it's very difficult. Now, sure, if I re-encoded all my streams to H.265 in a decent codec, or rather with a decent compression, like, yeah, sure, I could probably archive a bunch of it. I thought about getting two 16-terabyte drives for my fucking computer. But the fact of the matter is, I just don't have that kind of storage right now, and I don't have the money to be spending on that storage. So, I'm okay with leaving it for the moment, and if it goes down, it goes down. You know, as much as I like archiving things that are important to me, and this channel has been important, I don't think I'm gonna forget sitting in front of a computer with some fucking hot lights burning on me, with a GameCube next to me, for a long fucking time, especially since I've been doing it for probably several hundred, if not 1,000 hours at this point. I don't know. I can sit here and rant about this shit all day. And I appreciate all you guys being here. But compulsory archivist, yeah, I understand. I think at some point I would like to set up my own website, and part of that is because then I'll know that it's gonna be fucking archived somewhere. My shit's gonna be archived somewhere. You'll always have somewhere to watch it. You'll be able to watch it in better audio, better compression than YouTube, better looking quality than YouTube most likely. And you'll be able to do, you know, also have like a little forum set up or a message board of some kind that we can all just hang out in. With that, back to Wario World, yep. Now that I've sat here and made depressing noises the past 20 minutes, I think it's time to just go play Wario World again. Master all your streams. Yeah. Master all your streams to film the superior video archive format. Until somebody fucks up. That's the thing. All this archival stuff, I know that we're sitting here going like, yeah, it's archival. It's supposed to be permanent. We're trying to keep it forever.
Oh my god!
Hey, what do you know? It does cue him right. Wax cylinder. We're gonna put him on the fucking Edison tubes. Let's go get him. I didn't know you could do this. Speedrun strat. I ignore the flammability. Okay. The other thing is, like, I've never messed with analog formats that heavily. I've never recorded anything to an analog format. The fact of the matter is we stopped using our VCR well before I got into anything archival. Isn't this level kind of shit? But I would like to, like, mess with analog audio stuff at some point. The unfortunate part being, well, I just don't have the bandwidth, either energy-wise or money-wise right now. The sad part is a lot of the stuff that I like to do, it's not just an expensive thing, it's also a time thing. And to be quite honest, sometimes I just have executive dysfunction issues. Sometimes I just have trouble getting out of the fucking bed in the morning, you know? Or, like, even just getting out of bed. I'll get out of bed, I'll get done, you know, I'll go to work, I'll come home, and I'll sit there, I'll be like, cool, I'm gonna do all these things tonight, and I'll sit in front of the computer for 5 hours and stare at the fucking screen and maybe throw a YouTube video on. Talk with some friends over Discord, you know? You used to have a VHS camcorder. It's not a bad thing to have, honestly. There are ways to long-term store things and just occasionally transfer and touch up degrading code. Yeah. No, I would like to do that. Like I said, at some point, I'll probably get a fucking server rack and just have, like, a shit ton of, you know, 32 terabyte hard drives laying around. A bunch of NAS drives, and just make a NAS and hook it up to a server and be like, hey, here's all my content, if you ever want to watch any of it. Now, that being said, there is some stuff that just has been lost due to either not being recorded properly, like the Dark Souls stuff, or occasionally something else will happen, or I just don't have it archived on my computer. Like, a lot of the stuff that is on YouTube right now is just on YouTube, and that's true for a lot of content creators. Because unfortunately, a lot of content creators cannot afford the level of storage that you would need. A lot of content creators cannot afford the level of storage that you would need to store all of their content, you know, digitally, especially if it's video format, because video eats up every available byte of fucking memory, or storage rather. Magnetic tape OP. Magnetic tape is pretty fucking great. That being said, I wouldn't want to store anything on magnetic tape due to the issues of what if you run into any electromagnetic interference. I know that there are ways to mitigate that damage, but ooh. I would like to get a cassette player, though. And potentially, I don't think I'd want an 8-track player, but maybe. I don't know. Audio's a whole other thing. If I'm just talking about, like, consumer-grade audio products, yeah, I'm kind of fine with whatever. I get out of bed for coffee. Storing a Faraday cage. I like that idea. I like the idea of storing stuff in, like, really weird fucking audio and visual electrical formats. Like, you store your entire collection in, like, an Xbox 360's memory. And it's got, like, 5 backup batteries on it in case something goes wrong. Speaking of which, guys, if you own an Xbox One, you may want to check on how to replace some of the capacitors in it, because they're kinda... They're not good. Those capacitors are potentially, like, gonna leak. They're actually... No, they're guaranteed they're gonna leak, because they were part of that shitty... There's a period where there was a bunch of shitty, basically just, like, really horribly made capacitors that got put in everything. And so I would advise, if you're capable of doing it, please make sure that you can replace, or try and at least look into replacing the capacitors. in your stuff. PS1 memory cards, yeah. We just like daisy chain a ton of PS1 memory cards together and call it a day. Nice job, Wario. I just like doing the jump thing, and then it ends up fucking me over most of the time. I haven't done a lot of music production recently. I haven't really even opened up the apps that I use for it in a while. It's a shame. I really enjoy it. I haven't had the motivation. I've had other things that I've been focusing on recently. Oh no. I want to see what a TAS of this game looks like. I'm sure one exists. But it's probably just absolutely insane. I love the pose that guy does. The garlic guy. Where he's just got the okay hand going on the one side. He's like pinching his fingers together. Yeah, none of these challenges are particularly difficult, but it is kind of neat to have. Nice job, Wario. It is kind of neat to have, like, just these little mini challenges. I think it's good to just have something that breaks up the monotony. Oh, no. Got set behind for a moment. You laugh, but Faraday cages are actually are an actual practical solution to storing our magnetic archival tape. I mean, it makes sense. You shove it in a Faraday cage, well, you're not going to get any electrical signal unless you put something magnetic or electrical inside the fucking Faraday cage. Hope you like clowns, yeah. This is straight up just the weird clown level. Like, of course it's in the horror theme thing, which I appreciate, because, yeah, clowns are kind of horror content at this point. More so than anything else. Oh, that's not even solid. I thought I could jump on that and just ignore the ball. I also like these things, which are just reskins of the dinosaurs. It's also the T-Rex. It's also using some of the T-Rex assets, which makes it funnier. Oh, yeah. I love that I ground pounded him into the floor. Still made it through. Like, oh, thank God, we're just going down. Crunch. That's another thing I've gotten into recently. I've been wanting to get more into Magic the Gathering again, and I finally found a group to play with, which is why I was actually out last week. It's why I didn't end up streaming on Sunday last week, because, well, I was out till about 3 a.m. And as much as I appreciate and enjoy as much as I appreciate you know, streaming for you guys, I really do not want to stream. I really am just not a fan of streaming on, like, you know, 4 hours of sleep and then getting up and taking care of stuff, because I probably wouldn't have been able to sleep more than 4 hours, because REM cycle. They really leaned into how creepy clowns can be. Yeah, that's a good thing. In my opinion, at least. For a sec, I thought this was a Toho song. For a sec, I was like, why the fuck are they playing this? How did that miss? Wario, man. You know better. Wow! Oh, I thought you were gonna say finally found him in Black Lotus. No, I do still have some expensive cards, despite losing a lot of my collection, or rather selling a lot of my collection a couple years ago to help pay for school. But I had some fairly expensive cards back then. I still have a fair amount of them. I didn't lose all of them for sure. But no, I finally found a play group to play with again in real life, and I've been talking with a couple people who have been they actually found a way to play online through a thing called Spell Table. That's a neat mechanic. They actually have momentum in this game. Good. You can do a dash attack by just pressing the R button. That's true. You can do that. Still unclear on how to play Magic. I have too much Yu-Gi-Oh knowledge. Basically, Magic the Gathering kind of feels like cheating when you come from Yu-Gi-Oh. The way that Magic the Gathering works is there is a very standard set of rules and things that can occur in a turn, and then any card that says anything different has priority over the actual rules. Which is why the Magic the Gathering rulebook is so big, because there's so many exceptions and strange interactions you can pull out. But there is a consistency to what exactly those assets are, you know? What those, things are. This game does a really good job of introducing you to little mechanics. Even just okay, cool, there's momentum in this game. Yep, it teaches you that in the secret level right there, and then you get to do it later. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a whole other mess. There was a video put out recently by, I don't remember who, but if you look it up, you'll find it. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player looking at powerful Magic the Gathering cards and trying to figure out why and how they're powerful. It's very foreign, yeah. It's just a very different game than Yu-Gi-Oh! Overall. It's also just typically more expensive. But I also play EDH, which is it can simultaneously be one of the cheapest and one of the most expensive formats. And it's funny in both aspects. It's pretty much always just funny, overall. Because it's just a casual format. It's a casual format that's based around, you literally get a 100-card deck, and you have to have a different... Each card has to be different except for the cards that give you mana. But yeah, it's a funny casual format that usually takes forever to fucking play. I've seen videos doing it the other way around. It's hilarious seeing their faces reading the card text. Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards are fucked. There's some really weird shit going on in them, and even trying to understand what they're saying sometimes can be a bit annoying. That being said, it's still good. It's still a fun game. Friend has been teaching me Commander once a year. That's a really bad way to teach somebody Magic. I would rather give you, a modern or legacy format deck and just be like, here, play these. Or even standard, fucking hell. There's so many better things to learn Magic with than dumping somebody into a game of Commander. That being said, I think that is what I see most of the time. It is fun. Magic can be... Yeah, Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! Can just both be absurdly expensive. Like, Magic the Gathering decks, I have a card that I wasn't even aware was $200 because I got it off of a trade with somebody ages ago. Have a rotten day. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was gonna let me throw him or not. But yeah. The big thing with Magic, or at least part of the big thing with Magic, I love how we don't rotate sets. Yeah, I mean, Magic the Gathering has rotating set formats, but then it also has non-rotating set formats, and there's a big fucking difference in power, and it's really funny. Genuinely a good time, though, honestly. You just get them to run into each other. But yeah, Magic the Gathering has some really, really bizarre shit going on sometimes. But anyway, it's just been kind of nice to be playing. I like the spotlight, actually. That's a nice touch. You got a little spotlight following you. But I really do love Magic the Gathering. It's just a funny game, especially when... The real thing is, some people just take it too fucking seriously. I get that if you're in a competitive scene, yeah, sure. Take it at least kind of seriously, but ultimately, it's a game that you're there to have fun with. Like, don't sit there and be a fucking tryhard and be an asshole to everybody involved, you know? That was a weird fall. Oh, no. So what did you do on stream today, David? Suplexed an elephant at a fucking circus? Yeah. Normal stuff. It's a saxophone. I really wish that I had stuck with saxophone more, but I really did not like the band setting for it. Like, the band setting for it really... Like, the band that I had was just not my favorite. It just wasn't something I was particularly happy to be in, for the most part. I do wish I had stuck with it on my own, though. But yeah, I do love the ridiculousness of this game as well. That's also what I love about playing casual Magic the Gathering, is just, like, how silly the fucking game is. I don't know how I did that. I hate learning instruments. No matter how much talent people say I have, I just don't want to do it, then don't do it. Don't let people yell at you because you're quote-unquote wasting potential or some shit. Fuck that. Do things you enjoy, man. I still play guitar occasionally. It's not very often anymore, admittedly, but, like, I still enjoy it. It's fun. It's not like I hate it or anything. Ah. Wow. Fascinating. You know, that it's... I agree. I kind of hate when people are just like, yeah, let me force you into do this, or like try and coerce, not necessarily coerce would imply that there's force involved, but like try to convince you to do this even though you very obviously don't want to do this thing, you know? Why you gotta make people uncomfortable like that? Just let them be. I definitely missed some treasures at the beginning, but I hit the buttons, so we just gotta figure out where the treasures are. I get where my parents are coming from, and I don't resent them for trying, but I just, yeah, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. If it's not your vibe, don't do it. Completely understandable, man. And I've had plenty of instances of that sort of thing happening. Hell, when I started off in band, I wanted to play the flute. I don't know. I don't remember exactly why I wasn't allowed. I don't remember if it was just an expense thing or if it was you're not supposed to play it because or you're not supposed to play it because you're a guy. I have no idea. I genuinely don't remember. This music is fire. This music is pretty banging. I do want to do digital music production more, I think. I've been having a good time with it. The problem is just setting everything up. It's not much better on any other platform, but on Linux it's still kind of a pain in the ass too. I definitely want to get more into it. I want to get some actual instruments, like MIDI instruments, and then start putting everything together. Plenty of men play flute. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal was. I don't remember the conversation we had in the music shop, but it was like, I kept saying I wanted to play flute, and it was a no. I do not remember why, so I'm not going to get too far into it and start yelling about shit. Wow! I do kind of miss the transformations from Wario Land 4. Or lion? Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's supposed to be a big-ass lion trapped in a tiny cage, but, like, I don't know if it really comes across as that. Okay, that's the end of the level. Okay, I need something to spawn up here. Just dunk him into the Shadow Realm with me. You know, people pay good money for toys like that. Yeah, I agree. I also love that you can interact with the arrow. Something about that's just funny to me. I love that flute bit, man. I am ultimately glad that I picked up saxophone, but I'm also kind of sad that I just never stuck with it. I still have the fucking saxophone. I could learn how to pick it up again, but I don't have the motivation or the time or any structure, really, to learn stuff is the problem. Because even on guitar, I just, like, play guitar. I'll just, like, noodle random notes out on the fucking guitar. Like, it doesn't really... Good job, Wario. I'm blaming Wario for that one. I don't like that one. I think the devs didn't think that obstacle through. No. No, they didn't. But also, I think it's cool. I think the idea... They wanted to use the momentum mechanics. Even if it meant making something that's kind of weird. I love Wario's, like, walk cycles in pretty much every Wario Land and every Wario Land game in Wario World. I think they just did a really good job of capturing the sort of person that Wario is with his fucking walk. Like, look at this dude. Alright, so what are we missing? 3 things at the beginning of the level. We've got everything except for... Okay, yeah, so we just missed a chunk at the beginning of the level. That's fine. Go do that. I think a good goal for today is just going to be clear this. Clear this world 2. And we'll roll from there. Alright. I should have had more than just cereal for breakfast, but I woke up late and I really wanted to just... Well, I say late. Honestly, it was about right on time for when I normally wake up for these streams, but it's always not quite enough time for me to do what I would like, you know? Boss afterward. Yeah, we got the boss after this. I don't know, I might do something else, but I think for the moment, I'm okay with just vibing with this for a little bit. I mean, it's been 2 hours. Shit, I didn't expect it to be 2 hours. That means what, it's almost noon? Yeah, I'd like some time for myself today. I might edit that video since I recorded it instead of having to download it off of YouTube and do all the editing tomorrow night. That way I can have some time for myself then, too. So I might do that editing, but other than that, yeah, I think I'm just gonna vibe today. Ah, I see. You know, this music's a fucking banger. This game's music is really good, overall. I hope that someday I can make something that sounds this good. It depends on if you want to do the bad level now or first thing next stream. I'll probably want to do it first thing next stream. Mostly because I'm hungry. Not super hungry, but I would like to get food soon-ish. We're getting into some, like, Super Monkey Ball level shit. Fuck is this? I don't understand how we're supposed to get over there. Maybe the ring tilts enough that we can just make the jump? I'm gonna stand over on this side. Assuming that the ring doesn't flip over. These levels give me anxiety because they make me think of the fucking... make me think of Sandbird. In Mario Sunshine. Oh, and the platform moves too. Beautiful. Welcome to Super Monkey Ball, bros. Yeah. Welcome to the Super Monkey Ball Super Show! Okay, so what did I get there? That's all 8 crystals, so we're good on those. I just have to find the rest of the nonsense. There's a suspicious gap back here on the wall, but I think that's just the way that they designed the level. This game kind of reminds me of Pac-Man World's design, actually, now I'm thinking about it. That's another game I'd like to play. I never played through Pac-Man World 2. I never owned it. I could also get through Pac-Man World 1, but that's a different thing. And as far as special streams go, I have been thinking about doing another special stream kind of soon. Nice job. The repack. We must repack. I have been thinking about doing some more special streams soon. I would very much like to mess with some special stuff. And I've got a couple ideas. I've got some, like, smaller game compilations I'd like to get. I'd like to try out at some point. I just haven't gotten around to gathering everything I need for it. Okay, that's the tambourine. That's the second one. And the elephants. Yeah. Also, this game runs pretty fucking smooth, I gotta say. For what it is. Anything that runs smoothly on a GameCube gets a kudos from me. Which thankfully is a lot of the Nintendo games, because one, they own the software. Or they own the hardware. I would hope that they knew how to optimize it fairly well. Just so I don't die here. Give me some garlic, chief. Okay. I fell down here a lot. There's a pretty easy area to fall into. Tasty. Yeah, exactly. But, I don't know. I've got some stream ideas. I've been thinking about... I had a list of games going somewhere. Maybe I'll pull it up at the end of stream and we can talk about it. Oh, did I miss up here? Yeah, I think it's because I ground pounded immediately and didn't go up this way. Perfectly timed wake up, yeah. Computer's just like, hey, let me go to sleep. Thanks. Yeah, the lawnmower, man. I do have that on that list. Okay, so this should be the last thing I need. Alright, that's all the treasure. And we've got all the hard up trophies and the crystals. So we're good to go. Get the fuck out of here. Oh no. Fuck off. I like the little sweat particle effects, like I'm stressing them out that I'm down here. They're scared. I've wandered into their natural habitat. Normally they don't bite, but they feel cornered. The fucking momentum mechanic there got me. Just the absolute yeet. God damn it. Get me out of here. But yeah, there's plenty of games that I would love to play at some point on stream, and I think that I do want to get back into playing some more goofy shit on emulator, because it's funny. You're not locked in a room with them, they're locked in a room with you. Yeah, exactly. That's not timed right. That's not perfect cycles. What did I just pick up? Okay, no, I didn't pick it up. I dropped into the water, quote-unquote water. But yeah, I don't know. I have found a couple games. I heard about another game recently, another, like, weird sponsored game recently that I had never heard of before, and I don't remember what it's called now, because I wasn't paying attention too much to the video. But I saw it, and I didn't note it down like I should have. Because, like, I really should have noted it down. Because it's kind of rare for, nowadays for me to find a weird sponsored, like, fast food or, like, soda brand game that I haven't heard of yet. I've seen so many of them at this point. I played a fair amount of them on stream, too. But also now I've got to go through the process of acquiring the hardware for them or potentially setting up emulators. By the way, don't pirate games, it's bad. Okay. Are they listening? You think they're listening? Okay, don't pirate games. It's bad, don't do it. Okay? Why the fuck does VLC keep doing that? It's not VLC, it's like OBS is confused. And I think I know why, but there's not much I can really do about it at the moment. So let me just do the quick fix. Go. Okay, so here's you guys want to know a secret? You want to know a good secret?
Oh my god!
Piracy. No, we're not talking about that. You can get games online. Okay? You can get a lot of games online, right? Normally you pay for them. Some games you don't have to pay for. Okay? And I'm not talking like getting the new Call of Duty for free or anything like that. I'm talking grade A 1984 Nintendo. Okay. Alright. So, why don't we go ahead and, why don't we go ahead and keep this our little secret? But, if you want to know more, check out the Discord. Feel free to ping me. Alright? Here, I'll put it in the chat on the side here. Should be below. EA gives their games away free. I'd hope they do, given how much you pay for them afterwards. But yeah, there's your little tidbit for today. I've got plenty of discussion points about piracy. Ultimately, I think that while pirating a game that is currently very profitable, aka it's, you know, a couple months out from release, is typically not necessarily the best thing. I think that when you have games that are 30, 40, 50 years old that haven't seen a release since they were originally released, and nobody has the original hardware anymore, it's become exorbitantly expensive due to collectors. And the games themselves have become exorbitantly expensive due to collectors. Yeah, I think that it's not necessarily immoral. Illegal, sure, but illegal and immoral are not the same thing. They're just not. They're just not. Anyway, I highly recommend that if... Why did I bother getting this? We're at the end of the level. Illegal and immoral are not the same thing. And I think that, you know, that being said, if you really do enjoy a game and there is a means to support the developers who made the game, please do that. Even if you do pirate their game initially. Okay? I'm not going to sit here and condemn piracy entirely. It needs to be not easily accessible or prohibitively expensive. Yes, agree. The problem just becomes access to this media that is great and people talk about all the time, and then suddenly nobody can fucking play it. You know? And not suddenly, I mean, it happens gradually over time, but at the same time, it's still just annoying. Ball fella. Coming in hot. I like the music here a lot, actually. I'm a number one. Yeah, exactly. You better let me onto the ball. I forget, I didn't read what this dude's name was. I wasn't paying too much attention. I like this fight idea, though. Oh, yeah. It's also nice to not have to wait for him. Yeah, Ball Fella is his name now. What was I saying? I don't know. What sort of, I mean, Walker Pierce, what have you been up to as far as, like, just hanging out, content, talking to people, watching YouTube videos? Any new games? Or old games? Been going back to playing Monster Hunter 4U again? This is a very strange boss, but then again, they've all been kind of strange. I'm not gonna bother following them over on this one. It's easy on the first few, but eventually you just run out. I like that the little enemies panic and run away from the giant ball explosion. Something about that's really cool. I'm not following you back over. What a strange boss. I like him, though. He got spunk. Omae wa mou shindeyu. Something about the fact that Wario's, like, the instrument for Wario's leitmotif is just fucking MIDI saxophones. Like, MIDI tenor saxophone is just perfect. Alright. Now that's what I call music. 2003. But I don't know. I feel like we end up talking about piracy and that sort of stuff a fair amount on the channel. I have very... I have complex opinions about a lot of things. And I'm not going to get too far into the piracy matter here. Oh, you look funny. Ahoy! Little Ragnarok. Scarlet for the Eevee event. Not really a huge amount of stuff. Still one of the... Yeah, I hear ya. Nothing wrong with that, honestly. This is an interesting fight, at least. Wow. I feel like there's not enough space to dodge everything, which is a bit unfortunate, but... Keep him knocked out. Fuck's sake. It's so hard to control him here. It's genuinely hard to control him. Ah, that's what you use the money for. Not eating shit. I mean, at this point... I hate the fucking... Genuinely, the maneuvering here is hard. Wario. Wario. And dead. And now he's dead. Assuming I don't fucking eat shit while they're trying to do the death animation. Yahoo! Fucking jump off. Drown. Well, that was an N64 on the bottom right there. Looking at the treasures. This is a good game, man. This is a nice, like, relaxing game. I know these streams are kind of short. I'm tempted to just go get food and then sit down and play some more, but honestly, I'm good. This is your Saturday morning content. It's no longer morning, right? Now we get to go to World 3. Not gonna do that right now, but we get to do it. Definitely slipped up on the last room of a boss right before. Yeah, it happens. It happens. It's apparently especially a thing in Bloodstained Symphony of the Night. Or not Bloodstained Symphony of the Night, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. Because all the bosses have, like, desperation attacks where once they actually, like, lose all their health, they try and hit you one more time. And it deals a shit ton of damage. Oh, this is where the GBA cable comes in. Gotcha. It lets you play, I guess, WarioWare games? I don't actually know. Or effectively WarioWare games. Technically, it's 11 for me. Yeah, might as well be Symphony of the Night. Well, Curse of the Moon is more like original Castlevanias. Symphony, I was just talking about Bloodstained Curse of the Moon in particular, as opposed to Bloodstained, it's not Symphony of the Night. What the fuck is the name of it? Something of the Night. But yeah, it's basically just Symphony of the Night. Oh, okay. he just falls off. He's like, okay, I give up. Are these just all save points? Yeah. Bit of a strange thing to do, but I guess if they just mean you to, like, continuously go left around the circle. What a strange fucking song. Oh, because they wouldn't let, yeah, they wouldn't let you make Castlevania. The poor man. He left the company. He left Konami outright and just made Castlevania. Except it's better than Castlevania. They wouldn't let him make classic Castlevanias anymore. That being said, I do like the couple of the 3D Castlevanias that I've played. I've been playing, I still have, shit, I can't even remember the name of it. It's been so long. The Lords of Shadow style stuff, where it's just like a 3D world where you're like meandering around in it with like action combat. It's a good gameplay style. But it's obviously not classic Castlevania, which is what he wanted to make. Kickstarter success story, fuck yeah. Occasionally you do get Kickstarter success stories. Occasionally you get Shenmue 3, which is still sitting up there in the cabinet, sealed, because guess what's in that case? It's literally just a code to download the game on Epic Games Store. It's not even a physical release. So I just don't want to play it. Ah, man. It's a pretty good day. It's a pretty good stream. Appreciate you guys being around. How do I activate this now? Guess I can go into filters and activate it manually. Anyway, it's been a pretty chill stream. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Still kind of low energy, even though I've definitely got a little bit more energy back being on stream some. As much as streams wear you out, sometimes they do give you that sort of energy that you need, you know? Helps wake me up. But I'm kind of hungry. It's currently noon. I'm gonna go get some food, hang out for the rest of the day, probably play some Morrowind, order some Christmas gifts for people. But you guys, take care of yourselves. Have a nice day. Be kind to yourselves. You know, all that stuff. Make sure you eat your greens. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves physically and mentally. Mentally, take a couple breaks, take a step back. This is all I'm using the soundboard for now. I don't know. It's getting close to winter, alright? Take care of yourselves, because I know that seasonal depression can help kick in some. I've never been officially diagnosed, but I feel it sometimes. I think I'm okay this year, though. I think just all the shit that's happened this year, I just want to be comfy, you know? Another successful stream put under our belts. Something else to celebrate. You know what I'm fucking thankful for? I'm thankful for every single one of you who stuck around over the past few years. Alright? A lot of weird shit's been going on, a lot of shit I'm not happy about or proud of that I've done, but I appreciate you guys hanging out, alright? Be kind to yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Eat good food. Make sure you stay hydrated. Okay? I will see you on Friday for some Dark Souls 2.